So just to reiterate what we're doing, we're going through the vocab words, which you should have filled out from Friday, and we went over them yesterday. You are going to take a few minutes to go through and identify all of the vocab words that have to do with weathering. Does anybody want their vocab attached to the back of their packet? I have a good stapler that'll go through all of them. Anybody? We're going to be using the vocab almost as much as we use the packet for the next couple of days here. Not almost as much, but every day that we use the packet almost. We good or you need some more time? Did you get through the whole list? Did you find 9? You found 10. Ooh, okay. All right, maybe I was wrong. Let's start. What's the first one you saw that has to do with weathering? Abrasion. That is weathering. What's another one that's weathering? I mean, I almost said abrasion. Carbonation is weathering. Maybe we should add chemical or physical to this. So let's go back to abrasion. Was that chemical or physical weathering? That is physical. I'm just going to put a P out front since I don't have much room. How about carbonation? Chemical or physical? Yeah, it's chemical. What's another one? Chemical weathering. Yep, obviously that one's weathering. Give me another one. What was it? Exfoliation. I don't think I put one there. Yep, that's the one I missed. You're right, though. Exfoliation is weathering, chemical or physical? Physical. Keep going. What's another one? Frost wedging. And chemical or physical? How about somebody else in their own? Hydration. Chemical or physical? Chemical. Any more? Oxidation. Chemical or physical? Deposition is not weathering. Deposition is deposition, dropping off of sediment. Okay, so I think this top one here, physical weathering, I think you probably didn't need that one figured out for you. Any more? No. Root action, chemical or physical? Any more? Other than weathering on the back. Yep, weathering would be the last one, I think. I don't want to so much do the same thing for erosion. What I'd like you to do now for some of the erosion is I would like you to find any word that has to do with glaciers. So look through the list again and see which words scream glaciers. What'd you find that scream glaciers? Couldn't hear what? U-shaped valleys, those are probably the number one that you need to recognize as a glacier. I promise you on the test, on the Regents exam, and I have nothing to do with the making of the Regents exam, but every year there is a question on either U-shaped or V-shaped valleys. So you do need to know the difference that glaciers make U-shaped. We haven't gotten to V-shaped valleys yet, but from your notes, you should have that those are created by rivers. They will always ask about one or the other, if not both. There's a couple more things that scream glaciers. You find one? Deposition could be. I'm gonna leave that one off for now because or we could just say all agents of erosion for deposition. But 100% glaciers deposit sediments. So I'm gonna just add all agents for that one. But there's some that just scream glaciers. Striations and moraines are the two, I think. So moraines are only caused by glaciers. So moraines and striations on the bottom of almost the bottom of the next page. Those are the three. So U-shaped valleys, moraines, and striations are the ones that only glaciers can do. If the Regents questions are asking about striations, moraines, or U-shaped valleys, your head should automatically be thinking glaciers did that, glaciers did that, glaciers did that. Whereas, like you said, with deposition, it's not quite as obvious who did the depositing. All the agents of erosion can do the depositing there. I do not think I included any vocab words for wind, but we should probably add the one that will scream wind. So on the bottom of the back page, we add another small box to this, and that's going to be a sand dune. And what creates a sand dune?
Wind.
Wind. And what does a sand dune look like? That's all we're going to draw for the definition of a sand dune. It's got a steep slope and a gentle slope. What side is the gentle slope on? The side the wind is on. So we have, I think, traditionally drawn them all with the gentle side on the left and the steep side on the right and labeled it. But please keep in mind, it could look like this with the wind coming from the right. So as long as you remember wind on gentle side. That this says wind on gentle side. So it could be either one of those pictures as long as the wind is on the gentle side. So just keep, that is all you need to know, that sand dunes are created by wind and the wind is always on the gentle side. I think that is good enough for the vocab for now. So if you have all of that done, again, keep it handy for the remainder of this chapter. We're going to come back to it multiple times. So if anybody wants to staple it, up here is a heavy duty stapler. You can staple the vocab to the back. All right, so then in the meantime, you had homework on page 17. It wasn't overly difficult. It was straight from the reading. So if you recall, we read about a wave erosion problem they're having in the city of Buffalo. And like I said yesterday, the article is from 2010. And you would think that 13 years later, they would have come up with this solution and executed it by now. But that's not how government works. And they're still dealing with this problem today. They have already completed the study. They have started proposing different solutions, but they have not come to a agreement on what to do yet, and they definitely haven't started it yet. All right, so let's go on here. What is the problem and what is the cause of the problem in the city of Buffalo? All right, you guys all read this article. I'm just gonna call on people then. Let's start with, wow, none of you look encouraged here. Georgie, how about you? I see you got it filled in. What's the problem? Water. I'm gonna emphasize that that's waves. It's not running water, it's waves. Eroding. Where is it eroding exactly? Okay, I heard some people say it's the wall, because you said wall, right? So it's the wall, but where is the wall? In LaSalle Park, and I know I'm gonna spell that wrong, so give me a second. LAS. Oh, so where is this problem occurring? Never mind. Where is this problem occurring? Yeah, in LaSalle Park. Why is this important? What do you have? Why is that important? But why is saving this particular place? Okay, it's the location of a pumping station. In case you don't know what a pumping station is, it pumps the water from Lake Erie into a water treatment facility. So then that water can be sent all over the area. Who's involved in solving this problem? City. So city officials. Now, what is the Army Corps of Engineers? First of all, is it a local company? Is it a state? What is it, Alyssa? You're shaking your head. So do you know what it is? What type of government? Like city government, state, federal. So it's city and federal government. So we're not just talking about a local government that cares. The United States government is invested in this project. I know this wasn't a question, but why do you guys think the United States cares about this pumping station in little old Buffalo here? Yeah, a lot of people use it. If you recall back from when we first started talking about, when did we do this? Was it this chapter? It must not have even been this chapter that, maybe it was 20% of the fresh water is located in the Great Lakes. So that's a big deal. I honestly don't remember when we talked about that. I don't think it was this. It was? Why? I remember that as well, but now I'm not remembering why. Oh, when we talked about the Great Lakes and the glaciers. That's right. All right, sorry. And how will they determine the best solution for this problem? What did they say they're going to do? Skylar, did you find what they were going to do? So they were going to first inspect the wall. So they were going to dive and inspect, but then what were they going to do? They're going to do a study. And that is what is taking so long, because to be so vague and to say we're just going to do a study, that takes years and years and years. All right, so that's just to make this bring this home a little bit, but we do need to talk about longshore current. That was a vocab word that you did a couple days ago, and then it was brought up in this article. From the article or your vocab, do you guys have the definition on, we're going to do notes here in this empty spot on page 17. Not a lot, but don't write huge. So if you kind of keep your writing kind of equivalent to mine. So I'm going to start with longshore current. says the definition of longshore current. Anybody? Okay, it's in the reading then. We'll start from there. It says longshore current. Longshore currents cause the sand to be transported along the shore when waves strike the beach at an angle. The sand is carried along the shore in a zigzag pattern by waves rushing onto the beach and back into the lake. So longshore current is the movement of sand along the shore in a zigzag pattern. So we're gonna try, I'm going to do a drawing similarly to the drawing that I ended up doing yesterday during class, where it might not look like anything until we're completely done. So you might wanna hold off doing your drawing until I've completed here. So what I'm gonna draw here is a beach. So we're gonna have the beach on this side of my line, and this is going to be the lake out here. It could also be an ocean. In fact, oceans probably have a better example, or you could probably describe this better with oceans. Have you ever been to a beach, especially on a very wavy, windy day? Works on Lake Erie, but out in the ocean works better. The best way I can describe this is I remember when I was a kid, or even this past summer when we actually went to the ocean, my kids were out swimming in the water. I was sitting on the beach watching them. What happened? You guys experience this? You're out in the water, parents or your stuff is back on the beach. Do you stay nice and lined up with your stuff? No. What do the waves do to you, Skylar? They move you. I distinctly remember my mom, and then I kind of sounded a lot like my mom this summer. My mom's sitting here on the beach, and she's screaming at me, "Why are you doing?" I definitely sounded a lot like her this summer, but I at least knew what was going on. So what you guys might not realize, can you picture waves hitting a beach? No, not really. I'll bring up a video then tomorrow for you. When those waves hit the beach, do they typically hit straight on? They do not. Waves typically come in at an angle towards the beach. So these are going to be the waves. Now let's imagine you have a beach ball right there. You might want to wait till I'm all done drawing before you get yours. When that wave hits that beach ball, where is it going to go if these are the waves? With, did you say with the wave? Yeah, and so since that wave's not hitting straight on the beach, hitting at an angle, that beach ball is going to move at that angle with the wave. So that beach ball is going to go this way. What happens once a wave hits a beach? After it hits the beach, what's the next step? It goes back out. And here's the way gravity works, that even though it hit at an angle, it will take it back straight out. What happens when the next wave hits it? It's going to do the same thing. And it's going to move along the shore in a zigzag pattern. So the beach ball will move down the shore. Anyone out here, so that's where I was talking about you out here. If you are standing out here or swimming out there, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to be pushed forward, pulled back, push forward, pulled back in a zigzag motion until you're halfway down the beach without even really realizing that you were moving. Now, not only does the beach ball or the humans move, what do you think is happening to one individual piece of sand that's underneath the beach ball? It's moving. It's doing the same thing. So not just one piece of sand, but each piece of sand is moving along the shore of the beach in this zigzag pattern. Every time a wave hits, the sand will move. That's longshore current. This is the picture that you need to add to your drawing. So you need the beach ball, the waves, and the zigzag pattern that the waves hit the beach and move the beach ball, or individual pieces of sand. So if you don't have the definition of longshore current and then a drawing of longshore current, you need to add that to your notes right now. Now, longshore current, it's okay if we're just talking about a beach ball rolling down the beach. But typically, so I'm going to add to my drawing parts that you do not need to include. So everything I'm going to add from now on, I'm going to put it in red pen. You do not need to include it, but I do want you to kind of pay attention. So my drawing is going to be a little out of scale here, but I'm going to draw some hotels here. Here's Hotel A. Here's Hotel B. Here's Hotel C. Beachfront hotels can charge a small fortune. Beachfront hotels versus the same exact hotel across the street from the beach, they could probably charge up to $100 or $150 more a night just to be on the beachfront. People will pay a heck of a lot more to be on the beachfront. Nobody wants to, well, I mean, people want to be down the road, but there are people who would much rather be on the beachfront than down the road or across the street from the beach. So these hotels that are right here on the beach, they cherish their beach and the sand. So let's take a look at Hotel A. Now notice they're right on the edge of the beach. There's no beach for them over here. They're on the very end of where the beach and the water meet. So they've got this sand out in front of their hotel. They love their sand. People pay big money for that sand. If longshore current continues the way it's going, what's going to happen to all the sand in front of their hotel?
They're gonna see.
It's what?
They're gonna see.
Going to go to C, or first to B and then to C. Yes, so A's sand is moving in that zigzag pattern along the shore. And yes, it will eventually, if nobody fixes it, it will eventually run out. Then what's happening to B? Same thing. Now, first they're getting extra sand from A, but even though they're getting extra, where's their sand going? It's moving to C. And where's C's sand going? Well, yeah, so over here where there's nothing yet. So longshore current can change the way the land looks. So what could A do to save their sand? Move it back. Get a backhoe, heavy machinery, go pick it up from B, pick it up from C. Do you think B and C are going to agree to that? No, they want that sand. They need that sand just as much as A needs that sand. These hotels compete with each other. They're not going to say, yeah, sure, just come get this extra sand. We don't need it. What's another thing they could do? Block off the wave. You think you can stop waves from hitting? So you could. You want to build a wall out here? Yeah. So you could build a big.
It will stay there for a little bit, but then of course the waves are gonna wear it down.
Okay, so we build a wall out in the lake or the ocean to prevent the waves from hitting. You are hotel guest at A.
You want the waves.
You want the wave. You want the view. You don't want to look at an ugly wall in front of your hotel. What's another choice? This is a choice. This is called a seawall, by the way. So if you were to build that wall, so let me get it onto Zoom here. So if you were to build a wall here, You could slow down the waves. This is called a seawall. There's actually one of these in Lake Erie. If you're driving along, it's Skedakwoda, and of course I can't say it, but it's that highway that runs right along the lake. It's not quite a highway. It's by the Peace Bridge. If you've ever driven by the Peace Bridge, you look out into the water. It's almost like a sidewalk, out in the water a little bit. That's a seawall. Yes, they then added a sidewalk to it so you could enjoy it, but that is designed to slow down the waves crashing onto the shore. But again, if you're a hotel, people want the waves and people want the view. So that's probably not the hotel's best choice. What's another thing Hotel A could do to save their sand? They could buy sand. Probably again, pretty expensive. And they'd have to do it over and over and over and over again.
Put a wall between A and B.
Put a wall between A and B. This is called a groin. What's gonna happen now with a wall like that? Where is their sand gonna go? It's gonna go to the wall. It is going to still move on a regular basis. And it's going to build up here. But what can they do then?
They can shovel it.
Then they can shovel it over because they're not going on to B's property. They're not going on to C's property to get their sand. But now what's happening to B? They're losing their sand. So what does B have to do?
Put a wall up
They
against
also have to put up the wall. If you go to beach cities or beach towns, you will see these small walls. They don't look like big giant walls. They just look like a pile of rocks that stretch out into the water. Hotels have to do this in order to save their sand and continue to make money. So we're out of time today. Obviously, we ended a little early. This is all stuff, even though it just sounded like me talking, that was me teaching you about ways to prevent beach erosion. We'll continue on with this tomorrow. No homework tonight.